Hello and welcome back to another episode of R6 Mailbox, a series where you guys send in your Siege related questions and I give you your Siege related answers. It's been quite some time since the last episode, so I do apologise about that, but if you guys want a chance at featuring in the next one, then leave your Siege related questions down in the comments below. So without further ado, let's just jump straight into it then, shall we? The first question comes from Shotgun Miguel. He says, what is your problem with Caveira? And to be honest, mate, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have a problem with Caveira, other than the fact that anyone who kills me as Caveira, I despise. Vibesy03 says, what is the next realistic collab you'd like to see in Siege? Proper collab operator in the game. So obviously this season we got Solid Snake, who is a character from the Metal Gear Solid franchise. This marks the second ever collaboration operator we've had in Siege, the first being Zero, Sam Fisher from the Splinter Cell games. Now what's interesting here is Solid Snake is actually from a different company's IP, that is from Konami. Whereas Sam Fisher, Splinter Cell, that comes from Ubisoft anyway, so it was a much simpler collab for them to integrate. Now to answer your question, there is only really a few people that I can think of that would actually work as playable operators in the game. The first thing you have to take into consideration is they have to be somewhat realistic. They have to come from games that have some level of realism beforehand. For example, I know we already have, say, Master Chief as a skin in the game, but if they added Master Chief as an actual operator, that wouldn't really make much sense because that's a very futuristic game. So already you have limited options. I'd like to see someone from like maybe Call of Duty come across, maybe like Captain Price or Ghost or something like that. I don't really think that Activision would be interested in doing that kind of collab, especially considering they kind of like share the same space within the FPS genre. I think a much more likely candidate would be another operator from one of Ubisoft's other IPs. I think I saw a Kudos video a while ago now talking about the Ghost Recon character in that game called Nomad, and he could come to the game and he would already have a pretty good gadget idea, which would be the drone that you can fly around on that game. Now I've actually played Ghost Recon and I actually really like the drones from that game. I think it would actually work pretty well as like a drone kind of camera for the attacking team in Siege. To answer your question, I would like to see Nomad come to the game. Next up we have Vibesy03 once again. He says, how would you like to see them proceed with Black Ice Packs in the future? Should it be a few in the battle passes each season, or should we be able to buy them for credits in the marketplace? To be completely honest, I'm not actually opposed to the Black Ice Packs and the way they work right now at all. I think if they just keep 2 packs in each battle pass per season, that would be fine. Obviously rotate the skins within the packs. You want new colored Black Ices, you don't want just the same colors all the time, and you also want the Black Ices to feature on different weapons, and I think they're going to do that. I think they'll rotate the colors and weapons within each pack collection, and to be completely honest, I would like them to keep it completely battle pass related. I don't think they should add these skins to the marketplace at all. It kind of degrades their value in a way. I kind of like the fact that it is strictly available from the packs, which you can only get 2 per season. So when you see these in game, you know that these people have pulled those skins themselves. They haven't bought them or got them in any other way. And while we're on the topic of packs, obviously we don't have the Bravo pack collections anymore. We actually have the Delta pack collections, and I actually have a small gripe about these packs within Siege right now because I hate the fact that they are not duplicate protected. I know for a fact the Bravo packs, some of the best parts about that was the fact that you couldn't get duplicates. They were completely duplicate protected. But with the Delta packs, I don't know why, but every single time I open a Delta pack, it feels like more often than not, I'm getting a duplicate, and it's really frustrating because being used to the Bravo packs and no duplicates in them, I kind of want them to go back to that. So that is a pack that I want them to change. But to answer your question, yeah, definitely keep the new colored Black Ices off of the marketplace when it returns. Next up then we have Skeleton Ted. He says, who do you think will be the final rework in Year 11 Season 3, and how do you think they will be reworked? Now, if you guys are unaware, they have announced that they're not going to be doing these operator reworks anymore, or operator remasters as they are now calling them. So Year 11 Season 3 will be the last operator to get one of these operator remasters, at least for the foreseeable future. And to be completely honest, looking at the list of operators, I don't know who it's going to be for at all. A few operators that I would like to see get some kind of tweak or remaster. I think IQ should be in that debate, even though she's not technically that bad. I think she is getting pretty outdated, and I think with a little bit of tweaking to her gadget, the way it works, I think she could be a much better operator. I think Glaz also is an operator that could use a little bit of a quick look at. I don't think it would need much, but maybe like some kind of passive ability for Glaz just to make him a more well-rounded operator, because right now his only like ability is his thermal vision, and that doesn't really come into play that often. And two more operators names that I'd just like to throw into the mix here is Tachanka and Oryx. Now I know Tachanka's already had a rework, but I feel like he's still nowhere near his full potential. I think if they just got rid of his gadget completely, swapped it out for like Molotovs, or made his like Shumika launcher like under barrel or something, that would be really cool. And as for Oryx, I do like the fact that he's got the passive ability to jump up through hatches and stuff like that, and he can obviously dash through walls, but again it feels very bare bones, and I think they could tweak it in some kind of way. Next up we have Vibes03 once again. Thank you for all of these comments. He says, do you think they will, or do you like the idea of bringing knife skins to Siege? To be completely honest, I am not opposed to them adding knife skins into Siege. The only downside is this is not CSGO. You can't just swap to your knife and like have it out as your primary option whenever you want to, so you would very rarely ever see knife skins in game. The one thing I do like is obviously, as he mentioned there, when operators do have their own unique different knives and different knife symbols in the chat. Like when you get a knife kill as 0, the karambit actually pops up in the kill feed. I think that's really cool. And obviously I do believe that Snake does have a unique knife in his hand. I don't think it's the exact same as the other knives that all the other operators in Siege have. Maybe if they added some kind of, you know, knife inspect or swapping to your knife to run faster in the future, then yes, it's a possibility. But for a game like Siege, I just don't see it happening, and I don't think it would really make much sense. Like for example, what would you do if you're playing a Rooney? When she knives, she doesn't pull out a knife, she uses her metal arm to punch instead. So what would you do for that operator? I like the idea, but I just don't see it working within Siege. Next up then we have Krieg YT. He says, do you think the 2x scope will come back on defense? And the answer to that is very quick, very simple. No, I don't think it's gonna return. I don't think it should return. The only reason for that is because when it is on an operator, people will only play that operator for that scope so that they can frag out, so that they can get spawn peaks, and that's just not how Siege has been intended to play. So I think Ubisoft removed them for a reason. I don't think they're gonna go back on that change, no matter how much people beg for it. Even though I do miss the 1.5 and the 2x scope on defense dearly, I think it is for the better. The next question comes from Tachanka the Lord, and he says, why do you not only play Tachanka? And to be completely honest, mate, I'm sorry. I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to return to the Lord Tachanka himself. I'm going to only play him now until I die. And finally, the last question once again comes from Vibesy. He says, if you watch Pro League, who's your favorite team to watch? And the answer to that is no, I don't really watch Pro League. I don't really watch streams in general. I can't sit there and watch something for hours and hours on end. So Pro League hasn't really interested me all that much. But my favorite team when I have watched has been G2. So that would probably be the team I would support if I were to go to like any events or anything like that. But with that being said, guys, thank you for watching. If you made it this far, leave a like on the video, subscribe for more, and once again, let me know your Siege related questions down in the comments, and there is a chance you'll feature in the next video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.